Okay, I just want to give you a little bit of information about what you're entering into. So at the end of the 2-year diploma course in biology, you are going to sit 3 exams. So the differences between the SL and HL are generally that they're a bit longer for the HL. There is a slight difference on the weighting, like how much of your final grade that counts for, and how many marks it's out of. So I'm going to go through paper by paper for standard level and higher level. I'm going to give you a little quiz to see how much you've taken in of this. But you can watch this video as many times as you like. So you're going to have 3 papers. The first paper is going to be a multiple choice paper. Now, if you're SL, it's only going to be 45 minutes long. It's going to have a weighting of 20% and it's going to be 30 questions, so 30 marks. So you are going to have 30 questions. They are going to be tested on the objectives 1, 2 and 3, and we can go through what these are later. You can't use a calculator, but you don't get any points knocked off if you don't get it right. You have to be careful with some of these because they do try and trick you a little bit. You might be able to easily narrow it down to 2 answers, but you've got to be careful. Don't just choose the one that you think is correct straight away. Go through and eliminate the others. If you are HL, your paper will be a bit longer. It'll be 1 hour, 20% weighting and 40 marks, so that's 40 questions. 40 multiple choice questions on core and the higher level, and about 15 which are going to be the same as the SL people. It'll still be assessed on the objectives 1, 2 and 3, and again you can't use calculators, and again you won't get any points deducted for incorrect answers. This is what the paper will look like. You will have a question and there will be 4 answers beneath, and you have to choose the correct one. You don't answer on this paper. You will be given a separate answer sheet and you will put a cross in the box that you think is correct. And again, this is 30 of these questions for SL and 40 for higher level. You'll find that it goes through from the topic 1 all the way through to the end topic. It seems to work every year in that kind of way. So you can sort of predict what kind of questions are coming next. With paper 2 for standard level, it's going to be 1¼ hours long, 40% weighting, so that's a highest weighting of all the papers, and 50 marks. Now you're going to have a database question, and I'm going to go through this and show you what that looks like. You will have some short answer questions, some extended response questions, and then you will have 1 out of 2 extended response questions that you could choose. So you only have to choose 1 out of 2 options. You will be tested on objectives 1, 2 and 3, and you may use a calculator in this. If you are HL, paper 2 will be 2¼ hours long, 36% weighting and 72 marks. And the same format is true. You'll have a database question, short answer and extended response, and then you will have to do 2 out of 3 extended response questions. And the same is true that it will be tested on objectives 1, 2 and 3, and you are able to use a calculator. This is a paper 2. You will have some information, and you aren't expected to have all of the information about some of the content. So GPR 120, it doesn't matter if you've never heard of that. What they are expecting you to do is to use your knowledge and to be able to look at some graphs and interpret the data. So you will have several bits of information that you will be asked to look at. Several tables, sometimes several graphs to look at and answer different questions. Some of the questions will be specific to specific graphs. Some of them will ask you to combine information. on those on the graphs. You will also have some short answer questions. They're ones that you either know the answer to or you don't. These are all the short answer questions. You can see there are quite a lot of those. These are what we call the extended answer questions. For each question, there are 3 parts. Now, this is the higher level paper, but it's very similar for the standard, but you only have 2 questions and you will have to choose one of them. In the higher level, you are given 3 questions and you have to choose 2. Now, if you choose question 5, you do have to do A, B, and C. If you choose question 6, you have to do A, B, and C, and you will have to make sure that you write it very, very clearly on your answer paper so the examiner knows which ones you have attempted. For paper 3, if you are standard level, it lasts 1 hour, it's 20% weighting, and there are 35 marks. Now, in your DP course, you will do an option. This will be an ecology option. And in this paper, you will have questions on the normal core material and the option. For section A, you'll answer all questions, 2 to 3 short answer questions, which will be based on experimental skills and techniques, and some analysis and evaluation. And this will be unseen data. You will not have seen this before. Section B is going to be short answer and extended response questions from the option that we're doing. Now, when you open your paper on the May exam, you will find that you have all of the options there. There'll be options that you've never heard of, and it will be your decision to choose and your responsibility to choose the one that we studied. Nobody will be in that exam room to make sure you do the right one. So you're going to have to make sure you choose the right option, and you'll have plenty of practice of knowing which one it is. And you'll be able to look for the right code on it. Again, the paper is assessed against objectives 1, 2 and 3, and you are allowed to use calculators. If you are HL, paper 3 will last 1¼ hours, the weighting will be 24% and it will be out of 45 points. Just like the SL, section A will be 2 to 3 short answer questions based on experimental skills and techniques, analysis and evaluation, and it will be unseen data. Section B will be short answer and extended response questions from the same option that we will do with SL. Now with HL, there are a few extra bits that you will have to do, but we do much of it is exactly the same, and that will be the ecology option. And in the same way, you will have all of the options in that paper 3, and you will have the responsibility to choose the right question to answer. And it is important for everybody that you write down the question number so the examiner knows exactly which questions you have answered. In the same way, the questions are assessed against objectives 1, 2 and 3, and you are able to use calculators. So this is a paper 3 paper, and you can see that it starts off with some skills and techniques, some analysis and evaluation questions. So here, this is a skill. So we'll be doing this in part of our skills, learning to look at cells that are dividing and trying to work out what's going on. It also will have some information that you are able to analyze. This is an algae that you will never have heard of before, but you're expected to use the information that you've been given in the course to answer the question. Here's some more analysis questions that you need to look at the graphs and be able to answer them. This is section B. Now, you will have done the ecology option, and so you are going to look at this as neurobiology and behavior, option A, and you're going to ignore it. You will not answer option A. even if it looks interesting. You are not going to be doing biotechnology and bioinformatics, and so you will not answer anything on option B. You will, though, have done the ecology and conservation option. So this is the part that you will have to answer. So again, we've got some analysis. There are some direct sort of statement questions to define that you will either know the answer or will not know the answer to. Some more analysis of some graphs that you will have learnt on during the course. And some longer essay style questions. And that's the end of your option. So the other bits you will just leave blank, which might feel a bit weird, but that's the way that you need to do it.